Hi and welcome to Makeup440plus. So I am reviewing and doing a first impressions of the Stila palette. Now this one is the In the Moment palette. There's quite a few out there, but there was only two that really appealed to me, and this was one of them. So you will have seen this in my haul video. The colours are just beautiful. I love purples and I love all these natural tones as well. So I'm just doing this purpley eye look. I'll just zoom in so that you can see, and to keep it short, I've already done one eye, and then I'll do another video finishing the rest of my face and doing lipstick, etc., because I'll be using other products from my haul. So I will zoom in. I realised I did the wrong eye, so I am sorry about that. And I'll probably have to move my camera, so bear with me while I do that, because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I really hope that I stay in the viewfinder, like where you can see. So to start with, as always, Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Swear by this, use it every day, always. It just is magic. Any eyeshadow makes it stick, makes it last, and just really does its thing. It really is the best on the market, I think. The only one that I have found that is comparable, and I do use it sometimes if I can't find this at a glance, and that is the Milani eyeshadow primer, which I find is really good. So if you want a cheap alternative to the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, go with that. Now, I did get my hands on a paint pot from MAC, which I have actually been really enjoying, and this one is Bare Study. So it's quite, it's like a champagne-y sort of colour, and I really like this. And I also find that, like the colour tattoos, if I want a base with no colour but just to make the colours pop, I like using this. So what I do is I do it fairly intensely over my lid, and then I just bring it up into the crease, and whatever's left on my finger I just use on my brow bone, just to make sure that that's got a bit of base as well. And I have to say, between the two of these, my eyeshadows last from 6 o'clock in the morning when I put my makeup on for work till the end of the day, basically. So I'm going to be using the purples, as you can see, and I'm going to be using some of the brushes that I got from my iMats haul. So this is one of the brushes I bought, which is really quite interesting. It's quite narrow and it's quite long, and I absolutely love this for packing shadows in the crease. So I'm just going in with this darkest purple colour here, and I haven't got my glasses on, so silly I can't see, can't see the name of it. I'll see if I can find it on the back. Hang on 2 seconds. No, still can't read it. So it's just this really dark purple beside the, so there's black, then there's this really intense purple. So what I do is, using the tip of the brush, I just literally sort of tap the ends of it in both sides, just to coat the tip of the brush but both sides. Then basically what I do, leaving my eyes open, and I'm trying to use the viewfinder, so sorry I'm not looking at you, is I basically find my crease, and I basically just pack this colour into the crease. I literally push the brush into the crease of my eye. So I really like doing this to get colour in the packing colour in the crease of my eye. It just is a really good way. This brush is great for this, and it really is quite precise. So when you open your eye, you've got this colour that, of course it needs to be blended out, but it's really packed into the line of your crease. So if you ever have trouble finding the crease or doing a crease colour, a brush like this, I would suggest, is really easy because it's foolproof. You can just basically just bounce it in the crease of your eye, and you're getting that colour packed right into the crease, which is where you want it. So really loving this brush, and when I bought it at iMats, that's exactly what I had in mind for it, was to do that. So happy with that. Now just going in with this flat as you can see, it's quite narrow, but it's just an eyeshadow brush. This is another Royal and Langnickel one. So I'm going in with this palest purple in the palette, and I am just going to pack this on the mobile part of my lid. Now, because I've already got, now just when I've opened my eye, I've just noticed that I've got a little bit of space that I've missed. So with my eye open, I'm just going to tap what was left on that brush in that crease, so that I've got a really good line. And you'll see that it's really quite intense at the moment, but it smokes out just beautifully. So just with this eyeshadow packed on this one side of the brush, just going all over the mobile part of my lid, right out to the outside, and I take that right up to my crease, and what it does is it sort of starts to blend that, blend the crease colour a little and tone it down. So just want to take that to the inside of my lid all the way to the outside, and you'll see that it's already started to blend that colour just a little. Then just flipping the brush over, I always give it just a little bit of a wipe off on an old towel. Flipping the brush over, I'm going into this beautiful white colour. So it's sort of basically a champagne sort of colour, and I'm just going to take that on my brow bone right out to the edge and just sort of pull it down to where my transition colour is going to go. I'm also going to take this on the inside of my eye and pull it up through my brow, under my brow line. Just make sure that's blended. And then on the very tip of it, just taking that under my eye. If I get in shot would be very helpful, wouldn't it? So just taking that there, and I do hope the rest of that was on. Anywho, now I'm going back in with this dark colour that I used in the crease. I'm just very lightly putting it on the end of this brush, and I'm just going to run this on the rest of under my lash line, just to smudge out. And you know I like to marry my colours up, so I'm just sort of stamping that in the corner of my eye, just running that along so that it gets lighter as it gets into the white. As you can see on the other side, it just sort of blends fairly seamlessly, so just making that a little bit smoky and to tie the colours together. Then on a flat brush, which I had here somewhere, where's my flat brush? So this is another Royal and Langnickel brush. It's just a smaller version of the shader brush that I had earlier, and I'm just taking the black, and I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of this in the outer corner along my lash line. And you can see that there's really hardly any fallout, if any. It's just amazing. I'm really happy with the quality of these shadows. And then just flipping the brush over to get it into my crease, and pretty much doing exactly what I did with that longer brush, just basically stamping it into my crease so that it's getting the top and bottom of that crease. So I'm creating a darker outer V. So, and of course, just because I said no fallout, and I managed to get some, didn't I? But that's okay. Now, this is the tapered blending brush by Sigma. I really, really like this brush. And I'm just going in with this beautiful, vibrant purple here, this shade. I'm going to use this as my transition colour, so I'm just putting a little bit of colour on the tip of that brush, and I can see a hair in the viewfinder. So typical of one of my videos. Hairs everywhere. It's what happens when you have pets. So I'm just going to take this and I'm basically just going to tap it slightly over all of that area just so that I've got some colour down, and then I'm going to start blending in rainbow motions so that there's no harsh lines. So very, very gently, just using the very tips of the brush to do the work, as you've seen me do so many times before, because I don't want to lose the intensity of the colour. I just want to and I need to clean off my brush because I just pushed it into the wrong colour. So I'm just going to pick up a little tiny bit more and just go in with those rainbow motions and start blending that crease colour out and blend the purple to that white highlight shade that I put there, so that there's no harsh lines. It's just all beautiful and smooth and just, yeah, just nice. Now let me see if I can clean up this fallout with some powder, because I said no fallout and I had none on the other side when I was doing it, trying to speed things up, and now I did. I'm just going back in with the brush that I used for my concealer just to make sure that there's no dark on the underneath of that eye, because that really ruins the look when there's any darkness under there. So, and go back in with that bit of powder just to keep that nice and bright under the eye. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the shadows. Just really pretty, except for I'm going in with, this is vanilla, I believe. Is it? No, it's just plain white pigment from MAC. This was another thing that I picked up at IMATS. So I'm just going in with my little smudger brush, which is the E21 from Sigma. And I am just using, I've just got a tiny bit, it actually comes with a little cap, and I've just got a tiny bit in the top because you need just the smallest amount of this. So I'm just going in to the inner part of my eye and just sort of pulling that up very gently and pulling it down under, even though I've already got that highlight there. I've also, because I've tapped it off in the cap, there's a bit left. I'm also taking a tiny bit under the highest point in my brow just to really highlight that area, and then I just gently blend that out with my finger. Then the other thing I'm going to do after I do my eyeliner is put just a touch under my eyeliner, because I just find that it makes the line a little bit more crisp and brightens it up a bit. So this is a Hello Kitty felt tip liner, and the colour of this is, let me see, purple something. I'll put it up here and maybe you can read it. It's in that silver purple balloon. Now I can see it. So I'm just going to do my winged liner how we've been learning, because you will have seen my eyeliner 101. And with this, I'm just bringing this down, and then I'm just going to hold the pen, against my lash line, and just in really small strokes just dot it across so that I've got a line really close to my lash line that's in this pretty purple colour that just blends with the rest of my makeup. Now I will finish the rest of my face, but to keep this video a bit shorter, I'm going to do a separate video on that, because I want to use, sorry, I know you can't see when I hold my hand that way, because I want to use some of the other products from my haul. So that is the eyeliner pen. Now I'm just going back in with a little bit of that white pigment from MAC and tapping it off, so I've just got a little bit on my brush. And what I want to do is I just want to put that on the outside of my eye, just under that line, just to brighten up that wing, just a little. And I think it just gives a really clean look. And I am just going to touch up that wing just a tad because I want it to be nice and strong and even with the other side. So I think that's a little better. But I like doing this with the white because it just makes that line a little bit crisp and lightens up the outside of your eye. So yeah, that is pretty much the eyeshadow now, as I was about to say before, done. Just going in to do my brows now. So I am going to just go in with my Tarte Mousse and do my brows. So just taking it on, this is another Royal Langnickel brush that I got from iMats, but I've got quite a few of these double-ended with the little eyebrow brush on one end and then the spoolie on the other. So just taking that through my brow. I want a reasonably strong brow with this because it's a, you know, fairly dark purple sort of look. So once I've got that on, I just spoolie that through and make sure that there's no clumps and that the colour's distributed evenly through my eye. The other thing that I got that I showed you in my haul was the Tarte eyelash curler and the it's, which mascara is it again? I always forget. The lights, I can't remember. It's this little gold one. So this is the Tarte eyelash curler. Now I have to say I really like this. I've got a couple of curlers, but this one I find really gets from one end of my eye to the other. So I'm always careful to make sure that I line it up and get on my outside lashes as well. And then just curl. And it really does make a difference, and it really does hold the curl. I really am impressed with this. And then this mascara, as I showed you the brush in the haul, and as you know, these are one of my favourite style of brushes. They just really lengthen and separate and really define my lashes, which I just love. So just putting that on, and again, sorry, I'm using the viewfinder and I know I'm not looking at you, but I figure it gives you a much better view. I know what my face looks like and what I look like when I apply mascara, so better that you can see it than me. So just bottom lashes, loving. Got to get those bottom lashes, it makes all the difference. So you can see how this mascara is still new, it's still wet, but I really like it, so I think I'm going to like it a lot more as it starts to dry out. And I'll just do a second coat on the top so that I've got a really good coating of mascara. And I'm hoping it's showing up on camera as well as it is in the mirror, because they really does make a difference to my lashes. So I hope that you can see that. And I like it's got the end so that you can brush through the tips just to get that little bit of extra length on the tips of your lashes. So yeah, done. So I'll just show you that up close. So that's using the In the Know palette from Stila. Really love the Stila eyeshadows. Kind of kicking myself that it's taken me so long to get onto the Stila bandwagon as far as, you know, how the quality of their products. So impressed with the payoff, the lack of fallout. Highly look, if you like purples and you like your neutral colours, this palette is definitely a palette I would recommend. I think it's just beautiful. I love the In the Light palette, but the In the Moment palette is also just beautiful. And because I like my shimmers, I think that's what drew me to these palettes, but I also love my neutrals and my purples. So really, really happy with this palette. So that's another first impressions and a tutorial using something else from my haul. So I will come back in another video and I will finish the rest of my face using some other products that I've got, just so you can see them in action. So I hope you've enjoyed this eye tutorial. If you have, please give it the thumbs up. Please leave any comments or questions you have in the down bar, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again really soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.